Hey, I'm back, everybody. Sorry for the long away from the computer, but a lot of different life stuff happened and I had to take care of that stuff. Then this whole situation with my job, losing about 3 clients in the same company, I had to literally go to a different company to try to find some work. So yeah, very fun. Finally stable, so hopefully we just get right into it. Sorry again for the long delay in my videos. I apologize, I really do. And thank you for the people that did sub while I was gone, and the comments left while I was gone, the likes while I was gone. I appreciate you all. So we're gonna jump into it. A few things really fast. Since content creation and a couple of people being sued for certain things for blatantly stealing content without even giving credit to the original person, and the H3 situation. I'm going to wait at least one day before I react to a video. So if a video's been up for more than a day, I'm going to give it a day so the original person gets enough flow to it. Again, I don't make anything off these videos because I'm very small, and this is more of a hobby-like thing for therapy in a way. So I'm just going to be doing these videos as reaction plus commentary. So I'm going to make sure that people who do these, if they're sponsored, their sponsors get shown. If it's like over a month, then I'm not going to show the sponsor, because by then there's a good chance it's already expired and they don't get anything from it. But watching a few people that do reactions, I've learned a lot, and I do want to become a better person on here. So again, I've babbled on for far too long. So this newest drama that's popped up with a streamer named Ludwig. I know I've already said the meme, the Ludwig meme, like, don't say his name or else he will appear. It's like saying Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror, or 5 times, however way the story goes. Anyway, Ludwig, the piece of shit who doesn't care about people at all, that does it for attention, and then when he gets called out for situations, he decides to pass the buck whenever he can. And I have a lot of interesting words to say about him, but right now we're going to be reacting to, I think, one of the people that covers it very fair, without any bias or anything like that, or not bias, but like without being involved in the situation, because Ludwig is the kind of person that likes to deflect when he can and throw shade to other people to like, oh, that person did that, but you know what? I didn't do anything that bad. He did worse. Right now he's beefing with Asmongold and Tectone. And those two people, you know what? Don't mess with them. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, let's just go jump right into desu's Ludwig Is A Fake Snake. Oh, there's definitely a lot of different names for him, but yeah, it's Fake Snake is definitely one of them. So let's just jump right into it. I'm bringing out the popcorn for this one here. All right, let's just jump right into it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here.
Hey,
so
Rev.
today we're going to be talking about the Ludwig situation, which is a very messy and convoluted one. So a few days ago, Ludwig hosted a Mario Kart event that featured a lot of drinking, and during this, one of the streamers he invited would get wasted and then would act inappropriately.
Now here's a funny thing. If Ludwig is supposed to be like one of those very big figures, there's a good chance there's going to be children under the age of 18 that are going to watch him. Do you really want to promote alcohol that much in your streams? Or at the very least, make it a sub-only kind of situation? I know in Twitch you can set yourself to subs only, so only people that are subbed to you can get in. So it deters children from, spending money to watch a bunch of idiots play video games. Not everyone with the party was an idiot, but in my opinion, out of that entire party, from the clips I've seen, only 2 people were not idiots. Everyone else was selfish assholes, with Ludwig being, in my opinion, a representation of one of the 7 deadly sins. That's what I said right there. Yes, I'm going a little bit biblical, but you know what? I'll explain myself as we go. Let's just jump right into it.
Towards some of the female streamers attending that event. Afterwards, he was banned from Twitch. He lost his major sponsorship, and basically that's where the story would end if there wasn't more layers to this. It's not a black and white situation when you look at the totality of the circumstances and the fact that...
The worst part from what I've heard, Ludwig got started by the person he invited, this Mango person. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever watched anything of Ludwig except for clips that people like Asmongold and Tectone and Nux have posted, because I find Ludwig being very fake and a spineless worm, or as a lot of people like to call him, jellyfish. But no, in the situation here, if the fact that he knew his friend had a drinking problem and he brought him to there, and he used him as like a special event piece to like bring the party hype and all that stuff, knowing that the person has a drinking problem. Now, the smart thing he should have done was invited him to something else that didn't require alcohol. That would have been a smart thing. You think Ludwig cared? No. Ludwig was the kind of person who decided to bring a person who has a actual mental problem. Alcoholism is not funny. It's not. It's the same thing with smoking. It's the same thing with gambling. It's the same thing with sexual activities. They all are a mental problem. And if you don't deal with it, and if you don't get the proper help, and if you don't stay away from those type of things, then you know what? That's the kind of thing that eventually it'll get to you, and it could kill you. How many times have we ever heard or read or seen situations on the news, the computer, newspapers, if people still read newspapers, about people dying when they get too drunk? They drive, they hit people, they die. Or in the worst case scenario, they live, but they kill people in the process. I've known a couple people that got very badly drunk that nearly died. One person nearly choked to death on their own vomit. Sorry I'm being descriptive, but you know what? People need to understand that alcoholism is not a very good thing. Now, a few years back, when I was at my lowest, I did overdrink, and 'cause I really didn't care. I'm not going to go into full details, but I did overdrink at one point, and I went down some stairs. Let's just say it did some serious damage to my back, but I still lived. So, you know what? Silver linings in that situation there. I'll explain completely one day, but beside the point. If you have a problem, you stay away from it. Now me, I don't drink as much as I used to, because I just don't want to put myself in that situation again. I will occasionally have a social shot or a social drink, but I will never be one of those, like, I will do like I did before and grab a full bottle of Kraken and chug the whole thing down and then just give up on everything. I'm never going to do that ever again. Ludwig, and you're going to find out, has history involving alcohol, so he should not have done what he did. I'm sorry I'm babbling, but let's go.
Ludwig invited this individual to a drinking event knowing he was an alcoholic, and then at one point celebrated this streamer's blood alcohol rating reaching a point of potential alcohol poisoning, and then told him to up his numbers. So yeah, as you can see, very messy situation. Let's jump right into some of the context here. In case you're not aware, Ludwig is a very big content creator. He is someone for a long time who ran this Mogul Mail channel that covered a lot of drama and other streaming related stuff, and eventually he got known as a fence sitter because he would basically sit back, watch a situation unfold, a week later come out with the most popular opinion reflected by everyone else and what they'd already said, and
so a parasite leech waits till the smoke's cleared and then choose a side? Is that what, am I getting it like? Tell me in the comments if that's what I'm interpreting, because I've never watched a Ludwig stream or anything like that. The only time I ever heard of Ludwig was from Bloodborne, and God help me, that damn boss. But I was never a Ludwig fan. There's a bunch of streamers like that I don't watch. I don't even have the time to do that. I graze people. I can't even watch like I used to watch.
Eventually, people criticized him for avoiding talking about some of his friends, like Hassan Piker. In fact, he made a video that inadvertently made Hassan look bad, and Hassan was very furious and demanded that...
And then Hassan said his little piece, And Ludwig, being the jellyfish spineless worm that he was, decided to go back on what he said. He's the kind of person that he needs the approval of everybody. He needs to be, oh, I'm a great guy, like me, worship me, oh please, I'll suck your feet, Hassan. Ugh.
That he altered the video to fix the mistake, and Ludwig would comply, and that would be one of his final actions on this channel. Eventually, he would say,
I think the drama landscape has changed quite a bit on YouTube in a way that I don't like. Ludwig says he's done covering drama on YouTube, walking away from his Moogle Mail channel. I mean, in my opinion, it sounds more like he was trying to copy, or actually, April 23, 2025. You know what? He's just trying to copy Charlie. Moist Critical. Because Moist Critical stepped away from doing drama content. Just his own videos, and I actually like Charlie's channel the way it is now. Before the whole, after the whole drama thing. I used to watch the drama, but I like his content more now, because it's more real, more everyday.
Say that he didn't want to do drama on that channel anymore, and if you look at the replies from this back in April, I mean, he's just getting...
Ludwig checking the total earnings of the channel and was shocked how much it made. Ludwig says he's never covered drama again despite making millions. I swear. I put him in the same category as Pokemon. All they care about is viewers and money. They would give two shits about people. They say they're for their community, but I'm legit saying they're the kind of people, allegedly, we'll throw that in there so we're safe. They are the kind of people that would do a cryptocurrency scam their entire community one time, and be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at all.
Getting absolutely toast. Too much of
a coward to talk about Hassan. Gems. He's a Hassan adjacent. He also wants to play it safe. Ludwig is too scared to criticize Hassan, so he walks away from commentary altogether. Imagine being this cowardly. I mean, let's face it. He's one of Hassan's orbiters, and because he makes Twitch a lot of money, he would never have seen a ban that easy. And if he did see a ban, wasn't it XQC, I forgot his name, I'm sorry. I don't watch people that much. But wasn't it XQC that said they let you know that a ban is coming, and if it's coming, then you know what? Can it be on Sunday? Like Hassan's bans always happen. They're always on the day off. Twitch will always protect their big shots, their big money bags. They're always going to protect them. So Ludwig is one of those because he's like Hassan. He's just going to protect.
Coward to talk about Hassan. He's Hassan adjacent. He just wants to play it safe. Ludwig is too scared to criticize Hassan, so he walks away from
we all know a pussy. Because he's a big pussy.
Commentary channel community altogether. Imagine being this cowardly. You get the point. So let's fast forward to the current situation, which is a very, very messy one. So he had this big event involving Mario Kart. He called it the Mario Kart World Cup.
Okay, I might as well jump a little bit into this because I'm pretty sure Rev will cover more into this. And if not, I'll make sure to cover it at the very end. Ludwig says his father died of alcohol poisoning, or of alcoholism. At the time, I would not have challenged that idea if he did. I feel bad for the family. I really do. I feel bad for Ludwig if that actually did happen. But here's the problem. If I knew something that killed one of my family members, I wouldn't really associate with it. My grandmother, who raised me, because I didn't have a mother in my picture, she was a great person. She taught me everything normal, basic life stuff, not just what school teaches you. She taught me real world stuff. And she used to smoke a lot. So then she got that whole situation, I think is CPO, the one where you cough a lot and you start getting like lung issues. And it used to make it hard for her to breathe to the point where she had to start taking an oxygen tank with her. So unfortunately that did not kill her, but that did contribute a lot to how she passed away. So because of that, I'm never going to be against people that smoke or vape. I even tried vaping because it wasn't smoking, but I gave it up because I started coughing too much. Um, but because of that, you will never see me with a pack of cigarettes in my life. If I have a child and I see them with a pack of cigarettes, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them. I'm serious. They're gonna wait until they're old enough to make that decision, but until then, never. But even then, I'm gonna try to convince them not to do it. If Ludwig's story is true, because as Nuxtaku says, a lot of people like to lie. You also believe my stories are not, like I said, I don't make a penny from these videos, and I'm more of doing this for like hobby / therapy, so I have something to talk about and someone to talk to. If he did pass away and Ludwig had this beer party and he was encouraging someone who gave him a start, who was supposed to be his friend, to drink to the point of almost death, his father, Ludwig's father, would be looking down upon his son with shame, with disgust, that, you know what, I was at my lowest, and how dare you put someone to the same level I was at. Mango could have passed out. Mango could have threw up. You know what could have happened to Mango? Here's what could have happened at that party. He could have went to the bathroom, hit his head, threw up in his lungs, done damage, and then died on Ludwig's watch because of that alcohol level being so bad. And that's just one of many, many scenarios when you're to that point of alcoholism. He was at the point where a little bit more, he probably would have ended up in a coma. So if Ludwig, such a great guy, is the kind of person that I'll have these alcoholic parties and I'll bring someone with alcohol problems and then make a spectacle of him being so overdo it, let's up those numbers, then Ludwig is the kind of person that deserves a very special place in hell. But in my opinion, I think Ludwig fits a description of like a bunch of other streamers. I'm not going to say everyone because there's a lot of really good ones out there, but there are a bunch out there. I put them like in the category of like Cinder, for example, that all they care about is certain things. And Ludwig, in my opinion, he is like an instrument of one of the 7 deadly sins. There's a meme going around about of an anime called Monster. One of the most evil people in there took a person to the top of a building and gave him alcohol. A person that had an alcohol issue gave him alcohol, and then, not to spoil too much, but you get the idea. Top of a roof, drinking too much, you get the idea. And that's what they're comparing Ludwig to right now. It's all over. You can look it up. It's very funny. Tectone did a reaction to one of those type of little clips, and I thought it was hilarious. I was dying laughing, but also it's sad, too, that there's people like that. And I apologize. I've paused this for way too long. Let's continue.
24-person drinking and driving event. Obviously, he's referring to Mario Kart. But the clear focus of this is right in front of all of us. It's about drinking. Now, this brings us to the other person in the situation, a person named Mango, who is a member of the fighting games community, someone who's been there for a very long time and had many different controversies. And there's one thing that pretty much everyone seems to know about him, and it's the fact that he's an alcoholic. Now, we have this clip of him at the event, at the Mario Kart event. I can't really play it on YouTube.
Again, the fact that Ludwig let this happen, he could have pulled him to the side and said, "Yo, dude, stop it, or else leave." He could have. But Ludwig was so about getting those views. He is legit a Mr. Beast 2.0, but not to the same popularity level as Mr. Beast. He is, I want to be the guy. That's what Ludwig is. And the fact that he did not stop his friend from drinking to the point and harassing women at this event, you know what? This proves exactly the kind of character Ludwig is.
I'm not sure if it's like safe, but to sum it up, it's not good, right? He looks really bad. At this point, he's completely wasted. It's obvious. His eyes are glazed over. He's barely speaking. And he goes up behind this streamer named Maya and starts like air humping behind her, and clearly she's uncomfortable, and people are trying to get him to stop. He keeps doing it, and he was also doing other stuff, just being weird towards the women at this event. And afterward,
because the thing with alcohol that a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people out there that can handle their liquor to a point. Larger individuals, taller individuals usually can handle a little bit more than a normal sized person or a short person, for example. Unless you're one of my friends back in Texas who was like a real short person, and oh my god, it's just like she was drinking alcohol like it was water. That's a different story altogether. But a lot of people can handle alcohol a lot better than others. And people that have an issue, that have a problem, when they... Okay, do you remember the scene in John Wick? Little spoilers if you haven't seen that movie. If you haven't, please do. He got out of something very bad, but he was good at what he was. When you dip your pinky back into the pond, someone's going to grab it and pull you right back in. The fact that this mango person was an alcoholic and he went to an alcoholic place means he was a fucking idiot. But Ludwig is the bigger fucking idiot.
He was banned on Twitch. He would lose his Cloud9 sponsorship.
And of course, the reason why he wasn't protected from Twitch, because you know why? They needed to do something, and he's not a Hassan orbiter. That's the reason why he got banned. And like right now, I feel bad for Tectone, because you know what? Every single time Tectone does something, they go after him, and Twitch keeps banning him because of pieces of shit like Denim and someone else, like Jump Scare Frogan, because they love to lie. And the lying in Biden's era used to work, but it ain't Biden's era anymore.
A very major sponsorship and partner.
Let me know if you want me to cover that situation about the lawsuits with H3 and the 3 bitches of Hassan's Planet. If I get 5 likes and 1 person mentions it in the comments, I will cover it.
For him, and then he would tweet this saying,
C9 dropped me, probably getting banned from tourney. Fucking shit, man. No one to blame but myself. But man, never thought it could hit this low. Probably won't hear from me for a while. I'm sorry, everyone. I wish it was better. If I had it all fucking tossed to the trash can. See, that's the thing. Now, Cloud9, I know what Cloud9 is because I used to play a lot of League of Legends. I was just a trash can silver 2 player. I never liked to go any further than that. Wanted to go for gold one time, but I don't have the mentality to do it. I don't. But I used to play a lot of League of Legends. So the fact that someone from Cloud9 lost everything because of a piece of shit named Ludwig decided to put him in a bad situation, you know what? Fuck Ludwig. And if I get Ludwig hate, then you know what? Yay. I don't make a dime on the video, and I don't give a shit. This is all therapy for me.
C9 dropping me, probably getting banned from tourneys, effing whatever, man. No one to blame but myself. But man, never thought I could hit this low. Probably won't hear from me for a while. I'm sorry, everyone.
And I hope to God that this person right now, Mango, gets the help he needs. I hope he goes into an area where he can get the sponsored help and gets himself someone to push him in the right direction and actually focus on getting sober and not slipping back into this, because alcoholism is a very dangerous thing, because once that monster grips you, it's not that easy to just break away. Even with years of sobriety, all it takes is one bad moment, a bad day.
Wish I was better. I had it all and I tossed it away in the trash can. He also said he was going to try to privately apologize to the people involved. But you can see, right? This is a big mess. And he got punished, and rightfully so. Like, getting drunk is not an excuse for acting the way he did. He shouldn't have put himself in that situation. And Ludwig would basically wipe his hands of this entire event.
Because you know what? He used him. He got the attention from it. Because wasn't it Obama that said any negative attention is still attention? That kind of situation?
This is a clip basically reacting to everything right after it happened.
You killed Mango? Not even a little bit.
No, you did kill Mango. You literally put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Metaphorically.
I don't know if you're memeing or genuine. I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all.
And this is a person who lost his father to alcoholism.
think this is his own actions because he's his own man. He's an adult man, and me banning him like is the only thing that I did in response because I think it was the correct thing to do. And also, I think I specifically said like I'm not calling for him to be dropped or banned from melee tournaments.
So he banned him from all future Ludwig related tournaments and basically absolved himself of any guilt involved in this situation because Mango is a grown man who makes his own choices. And you know what? It would be very easy to end the video here, okay? Well, he said what he said. Mango made his choices, got him in trouble. That's it. But the problem is, it's not a black and white situation. I think everyone is catching an L involving these two parties. Because yes, Mango's a grown man who made mistakes, but you're a grown man who makes choices as well.
You're a grown man who put the can in the man's hand, knowing it would lead to a downfall for him. You're the reason why he got banned. You're the reason why he was kicked off Cloud9. If he didn't get an invite from you, if you didn't encourage him to drink, you know what? He would probably still be at Cloud9.
The choices were really bad. And let's just begin with the fact that he invited a alcoholic to a drinking event. No one forced Mango to show up. But as a halfway responsible person, why would you ever invite an alcoholic to a drinking event? You're asking for trouble, and it seems like you're trying to anticipate issues and drama popping up for content. And things would get a lot worse with this clip. This clip is very damning to everything we're talking about today.
There were two people out of this entire party. Only two people thought it wasn't a good idea for an alcoholic to be here, or let's not encourage it to go any further. But no, Ludwig here. I don't know why he had to go shirtless. It's like trying to prove something.
Where it shows his intentions and his...
Ludwig ignores concerns he might be enabling Mango's alcoholism. Well, no fucking shit.
Disregard for anything involving this Mango guy, and he knows...
Live stream fails. Let me write that down. Maybe I could actually start doing video clips.
Knows about his alcoholism. He knows that he's extremely intoxicated. People are telling him, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. You know you shouldn't be doing this. This is not a good thing, but he doesn't care. In fact, he wants Mango to up his numbers.
Mango is like an alcoholic. Mango can drink 30 beers and act the same he does off no beers. He's a machine of a man.
He said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000. He's the 2-time champion. He's never lost.
We got a new PB! Guys, Mango just blew a .25!
Mango just blew a .32.
That is my guy. Hey, everybody! Mango just blew a .32!
To be clear, that is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
Okay. Everybody that watches this, I know I don't get that many views, but please, I'm just going to ask a simple question. Do you believe that Ludwig... You know, I'm just going to start calling him Jellyfish. I hate that name. I'm going to start calling him Jellyfish. Do you believe that he just doesn't care about people's safety? That he was high? Maybe. Allegedly. Possibly. Or he just wanted to see this as a bad event, but turn it into a good thing and then see if he could farm attention from it. Because right now he is farming attention from it. So, 1, he just doesn't care about the man's safety and wants something big to happen. 2, Ludwig is just high as a kite and just embracing it. Or 3, he's farming attention, whatever the attention can be.
Again, to any Ludwig sycophants who are going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you're saying this grown man Mango is not responsible for his own actions. He is. He absolutely is, and deserved to be punished for acting like a creep at this event. But Ludwig looks terrible.
And I've heard takes from other people say, why did it have to be an alcohol event? Huh? Why couldn't it have been something else? Why did there have to be alcohol involved in it? Unless you literally have no choice, because you know what? If you don't have alcohol and things like that, a lot of these people might not even show up.
He's someone who knows this guy's an alcoholic, invites him to the event, and then seemingly exploits that for content and encourages him to keep drinking to a very legitimately dangerous level. Like, if you ever watched, like, Cops back in the day, you know, when someone would get, like, pulled over and they're, like, barely functional.
I'm not sure if anyone remembers, there was a scene in Constantine where this person went into a liquor store because he was kind of, like, under the influence of an angel or demon. I think it was an angel at the time. It's been years since I've seen that movie. Good movie, by the way. Because he was influenced, he went into a liquor store because he was thirsty. He needed to drink something. So he's breaking all these bottles, trying to drink whatever's in the bottles, and nothing's coming out. And at the very end, you see that the man drank a good chunk of a liquor store, and he drowned on the alcohol that he drank.
Wasted, and they would give him the breathalyzer test like they are
the fact
in this.
that Ludwig was just doing this, getting those breathalyzer tests, and encouraging such a vile thing, shows that a person like this does not give a shit about people. All he gives a shit about is views and money.
Clip, and they might blow like a 0.24, and they're like, yeah, you're going to jail, buddy. He was at a 0.32. Now, if you look at some of these statistics,
Thank you. I swear, this is why I like watching rest of the desu stuff. He shows the shit that needs to be here. Just look at the percentages that you may experience altered moods to this is a potentially fatal blood alcohol level. You're at risk of coma or death for respiration arrest, absence of breathing. Now, he was between in the percentage range that you may experience confusion, vomiting, and drowsiness to in the percentage range of you're likely to have alcohol poisoning, a potential life-threatening condition, and experience loss of consciousness. That's where he was at. Let's up those numbers!
Going over this, he's in the range right here of 0.3 to 0.4, where you're facing a likely chance of having alcohol poisoning, which is a potentially life-threatening condition.
Mm-hmm.
And anything over 0.4, which he was working on pretty
Death.
hard, is potentially fatal blood alcohol level, and you're risking, obviously, death at that point. So he let him get to that point. He celebrated.
He could have got him to 15 and then cut him off from the whole thing. Percentage it may experience altered moods, nausea, vomiting, and loss of balance and some muscle control. That's should have been the worst. That should have been the worst case scenario of where this person should have drank. But Ludwig, let's push. Let's get those views. Come on, man. Let's get those views.
It and told him to keep upping the numbers. How does anyone defend this? Again, you can criticize Mango, but you also have to look at Ludwig, who is actively encouraging this behavior.
And there are Ludwig fans out there that they see this person as infallible, or there's nothing that they can do in his that he could do in their eyes that they would see wrong. But I do know there's a lot of people out there that just watch his content whenever, and they realize that there is problems with this. Not everyone is fully brainwashed like Hassan Piker's audience, but that's a different story altogether. Anyway, we need to start watching the Hassan's fucked videos again.
It's really, really disgusting, and there were people at the event pointing out that this is not a good thing, that he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, only 2 real people,
and he completely ignored everything they were saying, and this thing spiraled. It spiraled out of control.
You know, in my opinion, I think allegedly, here's what I think that Ludwig the jellyfish was hoping for. That the man would have passed out. They would have had to rush him. Peter, no, my dog is trying to get in the camera. That they would have rushed him into an ambulance and taken him to the hospital. That would have been such views. That would have been such content. I saved my friend's life from alcohol poisoning.
Because, well, that's the situation. And Mango's wife would come out and make a statement. I believe she's either deactivated or deleted these tweets, according to Yeet here.
I watched you on stream asking for Mango to take shots. Of course, you teeny bopping viewers wanted to pretend that nothing happened. People were vomiting at your event. F you, Lud. But since I'm not bound by shit as a civilian, I fucking watched you on stream asking for Mango to take shots. Of course, you tiny little teeny bopper viewer bitch ass wants to pretend that nothing happened. People were vomiting at your event and you never once decided to pull.
But she would say, but since I'm not bound by stuff as a civilian at Ludwig, I effing watched you stream asking Mango to take shots. Of course, your little teeny bopper
I hope you enjoy your grace for banning Mango while encouraging him to get fucking wasted, you fucking lud.
viewer bitch ass wants to
I would
pretend
follow
that
this
never
person if she
happened.
didn't
People
deactivate her
were
account.
vomiting at your event and you never decide to. It gets cut off there. Hope you enjoy your grace for banning Mango while encouraging him to get effing wasted. F you, Ludwig. Word for word, I need to do a shot. Where's Mango? Yes, so this was something that was highly encouraged by Ludwig. So many clips of him saying this stuff, so many clips of him encouraging Mango to keep drinking, knowing full well he was an alcoholic. And a lot of people are criticizing him, a lot of big content creators, including Tectone. Tectone's made a series of videos criticizing Ludwig. It's very clear he has an issue with what Ludwig did. That's not too surprising. But after a series of, I think, very valid complaints, Ludwig has been ignoring pretty much everything. But then, 2 days ago, he made his first kind of pot shot.
Tell me he doesn't play League of Legends. Another reason why I don't go back to that game. Of course Ludwig plays League of Legends. Knowing him, he probably plays cheap broken mechanic assassins. Ludwig throws shots at Tectone after Tectone made some videos about Mango's situation. Well, you know what? People are going to make comments about you, Jellyfish, because you know what you did? You didn't do something pretty. You didn't do something nice. You didn't do anything to care about somebody. You did it for attention. And you know what? F-A-F-O. Fuck around, you find out.
This time at Tectone.
And also, this isn't Biden's era anymore, so you can't say, oh, he's just a Nazi or a thing like that, because you know what? The boy who cried wolf so many times, after a while, no one paid attention. That's all the situation with like Frogan and all these other people. They say these claims, they throw them out there like they're just breathing. And when no one listens to the real comments of other people, then you know what? The words lose meaning. They lose so... Peter, go. The people just lose meaning of the words. They lose the meaning of the word, and it doesn't have the same effect as it did. So the fact that he's throwing shade at other people because people are criticizing him and probably making money off of him. I'm never going to make money again. I've just studies for like whatever. If I get shout-outs from people, that'll be my money right there.
Playing League, which is just embarrassing. Then again, you know, maybe give Ludwig grace in this one circumstance because he's subjecting himself to playing League. Maybe it just made him really upset, but let's listen to this real quick.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures that I get to die never having to speak to these people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like a
playing a Myuu? Oh god, you're playing jungler.
Tectone video. I can die never watching one.
Sick, dude. He basically said one of the great pleasures in his life is not watching a Tectone video. Well, I wish you would watch a Tectone video because I think he's making very valid...
You really believe that? You honest to God believe he doesn't? Just like how Hassan won't say Nux's name. He just says a lolicon VTuber, which everyone knows. When you don't agree with Hassan, you don't agree with anything he says, and you challenge him to the point where he just can't defend himself, he'll just pull a name out of the bag of tricks and then label you that. He does it with every single person. So right now, the fact that he says he never watched a Tectone stream, bull fucking shit. I've watched a few Tectone streams back in the day. Not as much now. His content's good, just it's not my thing. But I have been watching a lot more of his clips lately because, you know, I feel bad for the whole situation with Twitch. And I hope to God he puts Demons through the ringer.
Criticisms going after the stuff you did. But of course, you know... He was probably fishing for a bit of a response, and Ludwig took the bait.
FYI, if Tectone does a lawsuit against Denims, I will be covering it like people were covering the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. I seriously will. Anybody that does a real lawsuit, I will cover that. Because you know what? Justice deserves to be said and done.
And basically at that point,
Tecton continues to call out Ludwig, this time bringing receipts where Ludwig implied that you are responsible for your chat's actions. Points out if that you hold the belief that's why you aren't being held responsibility for close friends' actions on screen.
Come off, right? I think he was going at him from a more distant perspective, and now, well, when you take a pot shot at Tectone, he's going to go a bit further. And in this, he pulls out some receipts where he's basically saying, you know, you want to hold other people accountable for the actions of their community, their chat, what have you, but you're not responsible for people at your events, especially people that you're encouraging to engage in behaviors that are clearly self-destructive.
Do you know who would disagree that you are not responsible for someone else's actions? Ludwig himself. And this is why we're talking about this here today. The only person responsible for someone's actions is the someone that did the action. If little Timmy sees a video of a guy eating a fuckload of Takis and faking domestic violence, and then eats a fuckload of Takis and slaps his crush, Timmy is responsible.
Hold on.
Not the other guy. I just said your argument is weak. Fight someone else in the comments. How is it weak, bro? Nobody is responsible for what random idiots do but the idiot that did it. The fact that you seem to think that you have this much pull and control over randos that roll up to a stream says more about ego.
I also did hear a rumor, I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but I think I heard a rumor that anytime the name Tectone gets mentioned in Jellyfish's stream, it gets instantly deleted.
Anything else, to which Ludwig responded, I think there's a lot of good arguments for not having responsibility. I just specifically think mentioning a 1 in 100,000 extreme cases proof of why that should be the case is weak. Weak argument equals weak stance. It's not weak, it's true. You aren't responsible for what randoms do unless you specifically say, hey, go do unshit in my name. Ludwig, you have actively fought people who said that you aren't responsible for someone else's actions. You believe that you are responsible for someone else's actions. By the way, this was in regards to chat policing. This was in place for community policing, saying that a streamer is in control of their chat and a streamer is in control of their community, and they should dictate what that chat and community should do. So if you believe a streamer is in charge of their chat, randoms on the internet, why the fuck do you think you're not responsible for taking care of one of your best friends in a weakened state around alcohol that you know is his vice, a suffering alcoholic, and
Tectone, preach it to the sky!
A public, on display format in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Not only do we see that from Tectone, Asmongold would weigh in on the situation as well, saying at first that he deserves some sort of accountability, referring to Ludwig, and that basically he tries really hard.
Wasn't there a list like Rev says desu, Tectone, Asmongold, Kirsha, and a few others, like the list of like need to get these people canceled or unalived? Wasn't there something like that? Like I said, trying to focus on life and everything, I really was behind a lot of my stuff.
Hard to appeal to people, and he's very inauthentic, and you know, this is just not a good situation. Shouldn't have been streamed. Like, drinking events are a very bad idea, at least in terms of just, you know, doing the right thing. But for content, maybe it is a great thing because you have situations like this that get a lot of attention. And if you're a streamer, I guess some people, that's what it's all about for them. But of course, we have seen recently with the move to kick, Asmongold was getting criticized by Ludwig for guilt by association, basically saying his association with kick comes with certain detriments and that he's going to look bad because of the people around him. And also he talks about how...
I remember something of this. He literally said that Asmongold will get banned on kick probably before he ever does or something like that. Well, you know what? As long as you have Hassan in your pocket or in Hassan's pants, then you're not going to get banned on Twitch. As long as you're pulling in the big bucks, you're not going to get banned on Twitch, Jellyfish. Everyone knows this. You're just trying to make your audience seem like they know what you are, when the truth is you're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Degenerate of a platform kick is, which is very ironic.
I don't know how to multi-stream. I'm pretty sure there's an easy way of doing it. If I would, I could do Twitch and YouTube, or Twitch and kick, or kick and YouTube. The reason why I did Twitch, and the only one reason why I'm doing Twitch, is because, you know, that was like a little mini dream of mine to always be on Twitch. But Twitch isn't what it used to be.
Ironic, coming from the guy who's doing the stuff that he did at the Burial Cart events. But of course, when you start taking shots at people, again, they're going to weigh in on situations where you're now in trouble.
I mean, well, yeah, it comes down to it. If you poke the bee's nest, the bees are going to come after you.
And Asmongold would have this clip go up on his clip channel where he talks.
This actually made me mad.
Talks about this, particularly with the whole "you're responsible for what your community says," and gives a direct example of a time where Ludwig was holding Asmongold responsible for his own chat.
Everybody, Mango just blew a .32.
That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers.
I better not even for a fucking second hear anything about my chat. Oh, my chat said something bad.
Wait, hold up. Black female protagonists. Let's check Asmon's chat real quick. Halo DEI. DEI trailer. Oh, it's a DEI game. If you didn't notice, that woman, you heard me say woman, was black. So that is woke and not a game I'll play.
So you try.
Oh my god. I feel like I lost a brain cell just listening to Jellyfish speak.
And make me look bad because of my chat, but you don't want to look bad because of your friend
I'm no longer inviting Mango to Mogul Moo's event.
that you told to drink alcohol at your party. You knew he was blood alcohol poisoning level drunk, and you were gassing him up. But the moment that I watch a trailer and I don't say a single thing, you're trying to farm hate on me. I wonder which one is worse. People saying DEI in the comments section or real life sexual harassment and
Go check out Pegasus, because he does really good content. He covers the Hassan stuff perfectly. Just be careful of jump scare Frogan.
alcohol poisoning. Oh my god!
Why the fuck are they shirtless? I feel like this is going to turn into some kind of nasty porno from the 70s.
Oh, my chat said something bad. Fix your friends. Then maybe we can talk about my chat.
Let's up those numbers.
I'm no longer inviting Mango to Mogul Moo's event. You know, it's a privilege to go to an event.
Yeah, I think besides just being a gigantic hypocrite, as we've seen, a guy who wants to hold other people accountable for third parties, including their own chat, we're now seeing a guy completely and utterly make a fool out of himself, try to play the victim, try to play like he's too...
Because again, all he cares about is latching on to the most newest popular thing. If I'm not mistaken, Ludwig wanted to become a VTuber. And the only reason why he wanted to become a VTuber is because he wanted to jump in on the popularity of people like Iron Mouse and Doki Bird and people like that, like Zentreya and all those. And a lot of people did not want that because you're invading something that doesn't belong to you. That's not... You don't even show no interest into it, and then all of a sudden you just want to jump onto it. A lot of people were mad. I know Mama Orca, a trans person, by the way, which a very smart and intelligent person, said a lot of interesting points that makes perfect sense, and they were getting crucified by the idiots of Twitter or X about they're trying to gatekeep it, or they're trying to like hold it hostage, like they're the reasons that there's toxicity into it. And all Orca said was they're just trying to invade it to get more popularity and to get more viewers. Not like, for me, I do it because I don't want a lot of my relatives to know I do YouTube videos, because in our belief, YouTube videos and content stuff like that is a no-no. You're supposed to get married, have kids, do a bad, terrible job that no one cares about, and then just pretty much die. I'm not like that. I like to not follow the sheep. Unlike Ludwig, who likes to follow the sheep to the T.
Above and beyond.
Like human centipede levels of following the sheep.
On responding all this, that he deserves grace because he banned this guy from his events, but said he shouldn't be banned on other things. Like, he clearly encouraged this behavior. He knew full well what he was doing. Mm-hmm. Both parties have responsibility here. But let's not pretend like Ludwig has nothing to be accountable for. And he's going to get away with it. I mean, he's kind of like the squeaky clean PR guy that, like, you know, he's like the safe brand sponsor guy, even though this is like outrageous behavior, but that's just the way things work. And he's going to keep moving on. I doubt anything's going to happen to him. But it's good that people are shining a spotlight on all parties in this situation. Mm-hmm. People who should not have been in an event, who should not have gotten drunk, who should not have been creeping on the women there. But also,
I mean, can't you have a party without there being alcohol so massively involved into it? What about the actual streamers that can do charity events or special social events that don't have to have alcohol? But Ludwig, Jellyfish, you are the kind of person that you need those type of vices in order to bring popularity, to bring people to your parties. Because other than that, you're just a sad excuse of a person.
The guy who was inviting a known alcoholic, encouraging him to drink to dangerous levels, encouraging him to drink further beyond that. It's ridiculous. And you have to be able to recognize both sides, and that's really the only objective way to look at this. But anyways, that's going to do it for this situation. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so he doesn't cover it in the video. So let's put our popcorn away and put our Halo back on since we're back. Yeah, so the fact that he did this type of party and encouraged someone to the point where they almost died of alcohol poisoning when his own father supposedly died of alcoholism and he felt no remorse, no shame, no nothing. I believe, this is my opinion, and if you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong, but I believe he lied about that just to get some extra brownie points, sympathy points, however way you want to call them. If he did, then he should feel shame for what he did. If his father passed away of that, and he encouraged his friend who got him started in his career to be to that point, to almost die of the same exact thing that killed his father, then Ludwig should feel so much shame. I mean, don't tell me his mother, if his mother's still alive, wouldn't be happy about that. It's like, how dare you try to do that same thing that killed your father to your supposed friend? It's not right. It's not good. It's not fair. Seeing this ugliness in the world, it makes me see that there's just not much good in this world. There's good people out there, but then there is also people that like to embrace sin. And you know what? The fact that he was trying to get someone to drink themselves to death for attention and money and all that, that sounds a little bit like gluttony to me. So Ludwig was embracing his sin voice of gluttony, where Hassan embraces his pride and all these other people embrace avarice and all this other shit. But yeah, moral of the story, Jellyfish is a piece of shit for doing what he did. And what he should do is take some time off Twitch and make amends for what he did and try to help his friend recover. But no, he's got to keep the grind going, because you know, we got to keep that grind going. Anyway, Rev, an amazing video. As always, you cover the points that need to be covered. You put the proper clips that need to be properly in there. I will put Rev's video in the description and his YouTube channel. Please go give him a like, give him a follow or sub. He deserves it. And if you want to throw a sub my way, I'm just a stupid idiot in space right now watching clips of people doing good things, but mostly been a lot of bad things. And until then, I will see you in the next video, and hopefully I can start putting these a lot more sooner. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Until then, see you in that twilight. Take care for now. Bye.